everyone, Matthew Harris here, wealthofmatthew.com. You're watching Millionaire in the Making. It has been an incredible week, and I've got a lot of updates to give you. Just the business is exploding right now, and this episode is really going to be just kind of an update on what's been happening on our journey to that $1 million mark. One of the things you'll see in the business is that you're always trying to create momentum, and you're trying to have explosive growth in the business. And so on the front end, as you're getting started, you're like just running like crazy. And sometimes you don't see the results right away. It may be 90 days off, or 60 days off, or 30 days off. What's really exciting for us right now is we've gone through our first 90-day run, and so we're seeing a lot of huge results starting to show up, to the point where personally I'm bringing in a brand new person to my business every single day now at the rate that we're going. But one of the things that's really been a help is being able to have access to some incredible leaders who know how to build 6- and 7-figure incomes. And actually at the end of this video I'm going to share with you a conversation, well, not really a conversation, more of a video clip of one of the partners that I work with here with my company. He's making over $350,000 a month, and some of the insights that he shares are just so amazing in terms of what it takes to be an entrepreneur and what to expect and how to grow. So as we're growing this business, we're going into getting into the second half of the month, and we're just going to keep the momentum going and keep on growing. Have some frustrating days where things don't quite go the way that you want, but when you really are engaged in building, it's amazing how fast things start to move. It really is true that this business is so much easier to build fast than slow. So take a look at this video clip for the event that we actually had last night with Sarnicola, one of the founders and one of the top leaders in our industry, founders of our company, one of the top leaders in the industry, just sharing his experience as an entrepreneur, but also sharing what it takes to make it to break through to dramatic success in network marketing. Enjoy.
That a lot of people had said as a result of this economy, you know, the United States, as far as direct sales, was dead. He basically proved that wrong. And he's done some amazing things, helped over 700 families create a multiple six, and in some cases a 7-figure income. He is definitely an incredible servant-driven leader. He is our co-founder, global ambassador, and my buddy, Mr. Nick Sarnicola!
Good-looking group. Real good-looking group. I must be in Miami. Yeah! Do me a favor, turn the person next to say, hey, you look good, but I look a whole lot better. Go ahead. You don't got to tell your whole row, just one person. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody that came down tonight that just simply wanted to do something for the body. You know, the folks that just wanted to get on the challenge, have a transformation, you know, you're the folks that made it possible for entrepreneurs in our room, or potential entrepreneurs in our room, to succeed. Because without you, hopping on the challenge, giving a shot, there is no business side of what we do. And by the end of this year, we'll have a total of 1.5 million new people, 1.5 million new people that will join the challenge in 2012 alone. Yeah. We're still kind of on the fence of whether or not you wanted to take the challenge because you're not sure if it's going to work. Listen, 1.5 million people can't be wrong. You know, it's just like, this isn't like, hey, your buddy's trying some stuff out of a bag of stuff, and it's just like it's bigger than your neighbor trying to get you to do something. 1.5 million new people on the challenge this year alone, and that's too many people for this not to be working. For me, it's just use logic. It's way too many people for this not to be working. 12, 13, 14 million pounds lost is way too many pounds lost for this not to be working, right? And you just got to kind of take it from a logical approach. And if you can do that, the challenge, you can get on the challenge, it will work, you'll see results, and if you don't, give us empty bags back and we'll give you your money back, right? So there's no reason not to. So again, I want to thank every single one of you that are here tonight to simply look at the challenge. And for those of you entrepreneurs in the room, please give those people a lot of love for being here tonight, because we appreciate it. Time, I'd love to talk to the potential entrepreneurs in the room, because joining the challenge is more of a simple decision. We don't need to be here. I don't need to speak to you for another 30 minutes about getting on the challenge. It's pretty simple. Do you have a goal? Yeah. Okay. Pick a kid, get on it, give it a shot. That's the challenge. But from promoting the challenge, I'd love to talk to those of you guys that have maybe an interest in promoting the challenge. Quick background and backstory. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have a very blue-collar, middle-class upbringing. All four of my grandparents, they worked for the exact same factory. It had a trickle-down effect. My dad and uncles and my brother and cousins, all my brothers and cousins, all worked there at some point at this factory. And I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I knew what I didn't want to be, and that was working at that same factory, right? Anybody have a family that has a generational, say, like a generational disease that's passed down from generation to generation, maybe it's cholesterol or diabetes? Raise your hand if you have something that's passed down, high blood pressure. Well, we had chronic bronchitis. Anybody ever heard of that? That's passed down for generation. Anybody else's family suffer from chronic bronchitis? So I knew at a young age I wanted to be quote-unquote rich one day. I didn't know how I was going to do it, so you kind of watch TV and like, well, you can be an actor, you can be a rock star, you can be a rapper, you can do something illegal, or you can be a professional athlete. Those are your 5 options if you want to be rich one day and you aren't raised in a wealthy family. So I looked at my skill set. I said, all right, well, I can't act, I can't sing or play an instrument, I can't rhyme, I'm not a good liar, so that leaves sports. So I went on and played college baseball and had a full ride to a college in Michigan. And when I showed up, I was ready to go. I was like, this is great, I'm gonna become successful financially through sports. And then at 18, I was introduced to this exact industry, and this was 15 years ago, so I'm 33. At 18, I was introduced to this exact industry. And I looked at it, and the light bulb went on, and I said, holy cow, you don't have to have a special gift or a special talent to become financially successful if, let's say this again, if you become an entrepreneur. See, I was never taught that business ownership or entrepreneurship was even an option. I mean, I can remember when you go through the what do you want to be when you grow up in the future, right? It's kind of like you want to be a fireman, you want to be a police officer, and I was like, no. Entrepreneur was not even an option. Think about our school system. Our school system does not even let entrepreneurship, business owner, as an option on the list, right? And I remember going through this and going, I don't want to be any of these people. I checked other, I was like, rich guy. I want to be a rich guy, right? I don't want to be any of these other things, right? So I found out that you could be you could be somebody who's successful financially. In 6th grade, I called that rich guy. But you could be successful financially by being an entrepreneur. And you didn't need a special gift or talent when it came to how fast you could run, or how well you could sing, or could you play an instrument. All you needed, and this is fact, all you needed was a little bit of this and a whole lot of this. A little bit of this and a whole lot of this. Does anybody in the room, by a show of hands, have a little bit of this? This is what you all want to raise your hands for. Because not raising your hands would mean that you don't have a little bit of this, right? And then, does anybody have a whole lot of heart? Like a whole lot of, right? And not everybody does. Like, this is not like a rah-rah session. I'm going to be like, you all have great, work ethic. No, some of you guys are really lazy. Let's just be real. Business is probably not for you. You probably don't want to be an entrepreneur if you're lazy. But some of you guys aren't lazy. Some of you guys have a lot of work ethic. You have a lot of desire. You have a lot of heart. But you're spinning your wheels and it frustrates you. You're like, God, I wish I was doing this for something that would give me something more, give me something greater. And some of you guys think that you need more of this in order to do it. You don't need more of this. I've never gone, my banker has never asked me for my GPA. Tell me what type of degrees you have. I know you've made 10 to 15 million, but what's your grade point average? They don't care. They've never asked, and it's irrelevant because grade point average is irrelevant. Degrees are irrelevant. None of those things matter when it comes to becoming successful financially. They matter if you're going into a certain line of work. If you're going to be a doctor, please go get all your degrees, right? If you're going to be an engineer, or you're going to be if you're going to do one of those things, then yes, you do need those degrees to train you in it. But if you're going to be a successful business owner, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be successful financially, intelligence is not actually one of the requirements. It's not. In fact, you can be really unintelligent and find someone else who is really intelligent and hire them. Can't you believe that? You can hire people that are more intelligent. You're like, well, how do your products work? I'm like, I've got no idea. Because I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I didn't do the clinical studies. To me, what best I can tell is magic. I've got no idea. People drink the shake, hounds magically fall off them. To do as a business person, you are leveraging other people's money, aka our investors. You're leveraging other people's intelligence, aka our head chief sales officers, marketing officers, our scientists, etc. All you need to have is a little bit of this, but here's the catch. You need a whole lot of this. You need a whole lot of this. And if you don't have a whole lot of this, you will not be greatly successful as an entrepreneur. Unless you can find somebody else that's got a whole lot of this. And you can find a couple of them. I mean, I'll be real with you. I've met a few lazy people that have made a lot of money in buy salads because they were able to find a couple people that were go-getters, right? So, see guys, there's really no reason if you are interested in increasing your financial situation. Not everybody is, and get on the challenge. But if you are, there's really not a reason for you to start an entrepreneurial venture, really not a reason for you not to start an entrepreneurial venture with it. You don't need to be a scientist, you don't need to be intelligent, you don't even need to be the hardest working person in show business, you need to know the person who is. Now, if you are the hardest working person, that's a good thing, because now you have more control over the result that you're going to get. So at 18 years old, guess what? I went to work in this industry as a startup entrepreneur. Guess how much success I had? 0. And for 2 years, I had no success. But here's how I looked at it. I looked at it like this. My peer group is going to college right now, as I was, for 4, more than likely 5, and for some really big underachievers, 6 years, making 0 a month to about $2,000 a month. By year 4, making $25,000 a month. So while all of my peer group came out of college to make $40,000 a year, I was on my way to make $40,000 a month. How many guys wouldn't mind making 40 a month over 40 a year all day long? And actually, let's go back to what I was shooting for. How many wouldn't mind making 40 a year, or let's start over, making the exact same thing you're making now, but you got to do it on your own terms and your own hours and do it from home? Who would be okay with that, right? So maybe you never got rich, but maybe you're just somebody that replaced your income. Man, that will change your lifestyle in a big way. Now, I was fortunate enough that I did do well. I hit it big. And I was making as much per month as my peer group was in a year. And I'll tell you what, it was an amazing lifestyle. I moved to Huntington Beach, California from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I lived right on the beach. I developed this strange allergy that I can tell looking around this room that all of you suffer from. It's called snow allergy. Anyone allergic to snow in here? I'm completely allergic to snow. So I moved to California and I lived on the beach, and every day, Monday through Friday, I would wake up, I'd walk down to the water, I'd touch my toes in the water about 8:30 in the morning, and I'd say, today I beat the system, Monday. I come back the next day, today I beat the system, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I look to the right and look to the left, I could see for miles, and there was nobody there. Where was everybody at Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning? Work. It was just me and a couple of homeless guys. We were high-fiving the whole time. And everybody at this point in my life, they automatically assumed I was one of two things. So like, all right, he's either a rich kid because he makes a lot of money, he drives a nice car, he's young, He doesn't seem to go to work, and he's at the beach all the time. So he's either a rich kid, because there's a lot of rich kids in Orange County, California, and if he's not a rich kid, then he must be a what?
Drug dealer.
No, a supermodel. You guys must have a lot of drug dealers in there. When I said supermodel, this guy in the front row was like, which, by the way, just so you guys know, I can see you. This isn't television. Whatever you do, I can see you. So anyway, so you're right. They did think I was a drug dealer, and at first that frustrated me because I worked so hard to be successful and to make it happen, and then I realized they didn't have a problem with me. They had a problem with what they were taught. Because what they were taught ever since they were this tall is that type of success at that age is just not what? Starts with a P.
Possible.
It's not possible. Oh, it's illegal. Oh, it's given to them. It's not possible. And after a while, I realized that from their perspective, they were right. Because that type of success at that age, at any age, is not possible in what they were doing. But I wasn't doing what they were doing.